This is Wayne in Cave Creek, Arizona, and today we're going to talk about the wire saw. This is one of the ones I have. It's coiled up. As you can see, it doesn't take much room. It's best stored in like a couple of pieces of cardboard wrapped with tape because the teeth are very aggressive and very sharp, which is what you want. There's a lot of these on the market where some are smooth. They'll cut bone and maybe even steel, but they won't cut wood. This one is about 18 inches long with 2 rings, and they will break if you abuse them, you use them the wrong way, and I'll show you about that in a moment. These were originally developed for the SAS, which is the British Special Air Service. They're a good handy alternative to bigger saws and pack saws and things like that. They're also the type that use kind of a chainsaw type of saw. They're good too. They cost a lot more, and they're a little bit more bulky, but they probably would do just as well on a pinch. So being less expensive, chainsaws go about $30-40 bucks. These are less than 10 each, easily. So you can keep more of them around. And as long as you don't abuse them or use them wrong, you won't have a problem with them breaking. But you have to get one with an aggressive tooth pattern. This one, just by touching it, I can hurt my fingers. So get it from a reputable source. Do your homework, because there's a lot of different ones out there, and a lot of them aren't very good, and a lot of them there really are. Check out Amazon.com also. And what I'm going to show you is how this works. So there's going to be 2 ways we're going to cut with this thing. Okay, one is it's going to be a shallow cut. The blade is only going to bend a little bit. To make these things cut faster, people are more tempted to bend them like this and saw like this. The problem with that is that even a really, really good saw will break, because it'll be the same effect as, say, taking a paper clip and flexing it a number of times until it breaks. This is going to flex and unflex twice per stroke going over, because people a lot of times will do that and they'll wonder why it breaks. So you really want to have it taut like this and go down into the wood, because it'll naturally have a slight bow to it. And it'll last a lot longer that way. Also, if these break, being wire, you could conceivably take this ring and make a loop by winding this up, as long as the break is off to the side, which unfortunately rarely happens, usually in the center. But if it did, you would be able to get this thing back in service again. So I'm going to show you how well this cuts. I've had this one for about 10 years. I've only used it a few times, but I've broken them by abusing them, and I've worn out others by messing around with them. So anyway, let me show you how this works. Okay, we're going to use this. Okay. If I didn't mention it before, these things cost less than 10 bucks each. They're not very expensive. And I should tell about diameters. You don't want to cut a really small branch, springy wood, because you'll just frustrate yourself. It has to be something fairly rigid, or else you'll just be pushing and pulling it back and forth. If it's that small, you can break it by hand anyway. So anyway, this is an old piece of mesquite stump that's been here forever. It's a hard wood. It's pretty dry. I already did a test cut here, but I'm going to do another one. So we're going to hold it. There's some tension between the two, and we're just going to drag it back and forth, just like that. You can go as fast as you want. I suggest patience, because this is just going to be a backup to your normal pack saw. And what you can do to make it cut faster too is, after you dig in so far this way, is to turn it, keeping it in the groove, but a little shallower, and cut like that. The wood's thinner at that point now, because you've been cutting the other way, and you'll cut much faster, as you can see. Now, I'm only giving a little bit of downward pressure. I'm letting the blade eat its way through. Now, if you did it like this, it would have been broken already. Now then, sawdust. You can see, made a nice clean cut. And like I said, that's mesquite. It only took a few seconds. You might want to buy a couple of these little guys and keep them in your bug out bag. Like I say, piece of cardboard folded over appropriately and then taped together so you have a slot in one end. You can kind of squeeze it together and open it up and get it out of there. But I would definitely have more than one of these guys. So I would say that you could probably get away with sawing trees and wood. That is, I suppose if you're really patient, you could do 6-inch diameter. I wouldn't do more than 4 because it would just take too doggone long. So anyway, that's my review of the wire saw. You can check them out on Amazon. They got a lot of different ones there. Avoid buying anything really cheap or smooth. You don't want smooth. And like I say, do your homework. Look at people's ratings. There's a lot of websites out there on this kind of thing. And if you're going to buy it, and you're not going to pay much money for it, make sure you get the best one you can. Personally, I'd probably own 2 or 3 of these things anyway, not just one. So, anyway, the wire saw, and thank you for watching.